So we just went through and picked a bunch of different plant species that were in a planted cool season pasture mix that we planted actually 8 years ago. But since then, a lot of other species have come in. And if you guys have watched some of my past videos, there's one called the Pasture Bouquets, I believe, where I go around and just collect all the different species of plants that have come in over the years. And I think we'll count how many we found in just this little area here, but wanted to quick talk about why having plant diversity is so important. Why is it important, babe?
I've noticed that the cows definitely will eat less mineral. They will eat way less mineral down here where it's, a lot more diverse than up on the hillsides where it was just fescue and broom straw essentially for the last couple weeks. We were grazing the paddock, the pond pasture. They were running through, a bag of mineral there. I think it was like 4 days. They went through 50 pounds of mineral. Where in, the warm season natives that we just went through, that's been a week, and I don't remember the last time I put mineral in the mineral feeder. And then down here, obviously, I'm sure it'll be the same with all the alfalfa, and it's very deep rooted. Lots of Johnson grass, and which seemed to be the first thing they went for. The cows did. So I don't know what it has, or if it's just tasty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely you'll run through a lot less mineral, which minerals not cheap.
Yeah, it's depending on what you're getting, 20, 50 pounds a bag. Dollars a bag, yeah. So if they're going through a bag every few days, then that's a lot of money. So from a economic perspective, obviously diversity seems to be paying off. From an ecologic perspective, obviously each species of plant has its own soil microbiology that tends to gravitate towards certain plants. And so obviously the more diversity of soil biology you can have in a soil, the more performance, the more active, the more resilient and productive a soil system will be. So obviously when you have more diversity in your soil biology, you get more nutrient cycling in your plants, which will then equate to them possibly eating less minerals. So that could potentially be the whole reason why. But we went through, picked a bunch of different species. We planted 7 species in here 8 years ago. It was a cool season pasture mix, a couple different types of alfalfa, clovers, orchard grass. Maybe there was a little bit of timothy in here, and some fungus-free fescue. Since then, a lot of other species have come in. We've got Johnson grass, which absolutely is taking off the warm season. We've got purple top or grease grass, which is one of our native warm season grasses here in the east that really taken off. Chicory. We just learned from my plant identification app, this is white vervain, which comes up in a lot of different pastures. I'll try to get a little closer so you guys can see some of these. We've got, that's a burdock leaf, which might not think of as a great forage, but the cows will strip the leaves off the burdock. We got bladder camphor, again, a great pollinator species, high protein content. Not native, but cows love it. Narrowleaf plantain, broadleaf plantain, some type of little weedy, looks like a little grapevine out there. Not a lot of that, obviously. This is fleabane, Queen Anne's lace. All these plants they will eat. We've got white clover, which is very tall specimen of a white clover. We got red clover. Whoop, there goes my dandelion. Red clover, they love that. Got dandelion, they love that. We've got dogbane, which is actually considered very, very toxic to humans. Pretty toxic to humans, not very toxic. Considered toxic to livestock if they eat this and only this, but my cows in this type of diversity, again, they love it. They do just fine on it. I don't know what that was. I might have been the vervain. I think that was leaf of the purple top. Fescue. This is more Johnson grass. We've got orchard grass. More fescue. We've got ground cherry, which is a native as well. It's in the nightshade family. Again, toxic to humans. I don't know if it's toxic to cattle or not. They create these little lantern-shaped seed pods, and inside is the actual seed, which looks like a little green cherry. Alfalfa, mullein. There's thistle there. We didn't even collect that. So I don't know how many plants that was. I know that's not all of the plants that are in here.
There's definitely some horse nettle.
And horse nettle that also I just learned is a native in the nightshade family. Cows don't really do much with that. But in general, it's pretty impressive to see in just 8 years' time how many plants have come back in. And most of those that I just called off, our cows will eat.
Show the cows over here munching.
Mm-hmm. As you can see down there, we just gave them a little strip of this pasture. They are absolutely loving it. Again, with the good plant, with the bad plant, if cows are eating it, we'll consider it a good plant. If cows don't eat it and it becomes too invasive or prolific, might consider that a bad plant, depending on what other systems or services it's bringing to your system, as in pollinating or creating some type of service for your soils. But in all, we all want diversity, don't we? It's a good thing.